Legends tier list. Oh man, this is. Let me full screen this. Can I get rid of these ads? I don't think I can. So this is gonna be my character tier list. Apparently, I have the new patch of 2026. So I'll do a ones tier list. Let me sort these. We got S, A, B, C, D, F, Garb, Unplayable. And then we'll just leave those two. So yeah, we have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier, garbage, and then just straight up unplayable. I'll do a ones. I'll start off with twos. So my twos tier list for legends. Because we can start with Bolivar. I think Bolivar as of right now with this new patch, I deadass actually think Bolivar might be S tier, if not high A tier. I think Hammer's gonna do really well this patch, honestly. Especially with like the whole axe nerfs, which they're not too bad. It's just some of the axe legends got really big nerfs, like Olgrim. Olgrim, I think, is just straight up garb now. I don't think he's unplayable, as pros have been able to do crazy things with, you know, what we consider garb or unplayable characters. Like we still like sometimes see Silly Gobi play fucking Thatch, but I mean also he's like straight up unk status. But I mean it's just like situations like that, you know. But so we have Bolivar. I genuinely think he's S tier in ones and twos, especially with the whole new dodge change feature and just overall in the twos scene. Bolivar's always been a really strong pick. It's just he's been outmeted obviously by Olgrim and Karos, Bryn, etc. But I think now with the whole movement change and the like now that Olgrim and Kai are completely out the meta, I think Olgrim is gonna be an insanely good pick. So we got Bolivar. I'll put him in S tier. We have Cassidy. I think we'll just go down through the roster. Cassidy. I picked Cassidy like I guess like I'm gonna do like high C tier. The reason why I picked Cassidy in high C tier is mainly because of blasters. And again, we haven't really seen much tourney gameplay yet of the new patch, but just overall, like even with the whole new balance changes and everything, I still think blasters aren't the best weapon in twos. Her hammer's gonna be insane. I'm not gonna be surprised if we see Cassidy in twos at all. I don't think she's gonna get into a top 4 at all though. And if I'm wrong, then I mean I'm wrong. I'd be surprised if I were to see her get a top 4. But I'm gonna put her in C tier just because like she's overall not a bad pick in twos. It's just again she's gonna get outshined by other characters, you know. Also just depending on who you're following up with her. Like of course you have like the most basic comp, which is Cassidy and Azul. You can also do like Cassidy into Bryn, or no, not Teros. Yeah, you could do like Cassidy into Bryn, or maybe like a Gauntlet legend. Maybe like I don't know, Shang, I guess. Yeah, Cassidy Shang. Oh, I play Cassidy Shang when you can play like, you know, like Shang Tezca, you know. It's just like there's picks into Cassidy that are good, but there's better picks into that other character when you shouldn't have to play Cassidy. Like, you see what I'm trying to say? So it's just, I'd say she's C tier. She's not necessarily bad. It's just she's gonna get outshined a lot. So I'm gonna put her in C tier, like mid, maybe high C tier. We'll just have to see results for Summers. Orion, I think Orion's actually still gonna do really good. I'm actually gonna be playing Orion. My two legends right now I'm playing are Orion and Shang. Now that I've dropped Olgrim, I dropped Olgrim right before even the patch happened. I just completely got burnt out, and I just wasn't necessarily comfortable on Olgrim, and I didn't want to play a legend that, even though it was good for comp, I just feel like I couldn't play my best on him, so I dropped him entirely. But I still think Lance is in a bad spot for twos. It's still gonna be one of the best weapons. It's just it's heavily, I wouldn't say heavily nerfed. I think Orion's still really good for twos. I think solid players like I want to say Stingray, but Stingray really doesn't play twos. There's a player I've been seeing a lot in the pro scene in ones and twos, Jacoby, he's an insane Orion player. And I think with the whole new patch and everything, I think he's actually going to do really good with Orion. Also, possibly Volst. I know he's an Orion player, but I've been seeing him do like double Ulgrim. I doubt he's doing that now, but I think probably like Stingray, Volst, and Jacoby, the like the Orion mains. I think they're gonna do really well in, probably not in ones, but I think in twos he's gonna be a really good legend. So if anything, I won't put him S tier. I'll put him A tier, like high A tier. But I think Orion's still gonna do really, really good. Vrax, I'm gonna put Vrax just down like F. No one's gonna play Vrax in twos again. With how Lance is, it's not necessarily bad, but I still think it's gonna get possibly out-meted with the whole new changes and everything. Also, I mean, Vrax is just like a shitty character. He's good in ones, but again, why would you play Vrax and you can like play like anybody but Vrax in ones? It's just, it's way too debatable. It's too much of a risky pick, so I put Vrax straight up an F tier for twos. Nash. I think Nash is going to be complete S tier. Spear is still insanely solid in twos, and Hammer, as we talked about even with Bodvar, I think Hammer's going to shine a whole lot in the one scene, and especially in the two scene now that Axe again kind of got gutted. And it's, again, Axe isn't necessarily unplayable, it's just you're going to have to play really good neutral, and you won't be able to throw out as much on it, which honestly I kind of like. Axe always felt more like a fast-paced weapon than it should have, because Axe is like a really hard, heavy hitting weapon, and now that they've slowed the Saren Dare, it makes it actually feel like an actual Axe, so you're gonna have to be a lot more like less predictable and actually like strategize your move set when you're playing Axe in twos. At least in twos. In ones you still have to, obviously, but in a ones perspective, you're not as likely to get punished for your whiffs on Axe unless you're just like spamming Inlight out of where you can just get easily punished in Sidelight, But I think Nash is going to do insanely well in twos, so I put him in S tier. Queen Eye, only people I'm seeing people play Queen 9 twos are Cronus, I believe, and Guichibao. Okay, I might just butcher some Guichibu. I'll pay Queen 9 like high B tier. She's not a bad pick at all for twos, again, but the only people who literally play her that I know of is Cronus and Guichibu. And I think he's actually swapping off of Guichibu. Guichibu, Queen 9, oh my god. Like, a Guichibu is just Nai itself, but yeah, y'all know what I mean. But they're like the only two people I know of that are playing Nai, and Nai's not necessarily bad. I think she's good in twos. It's just, again, with the whole new meta, gonna get outshined a little bit by, Hammer, Spear, Axe, Lance, still the good meta weapons. Qatar's is gonna kind of fumble in that situation. But again, she's not bad. She's just not as good as A and S tier, so we put her in B tier. Hattori, I think Hattori's gonna be S tier. I have some predictions for Hattori. I think the main, so me and Sora talked about it, Sora, my twos partner. I think some of the main comps for twos is gonna be Hattori Bryn, or Hattori Nash, or Hattori Koji, or Bodvar Koji, which I don't know, Bodvar Koji is like one of the most original team combo comps in like Brawlhalla history, besides like double Bodvar. That was like the comp. Like I remember that was like one of the most basic like comps. Even Gold were playing it. Like at the time, QWERTY, who is now known as Hideaway, him, I don't know who his teammate was at the time, but he actually 3-stocked Prime, Boomy, and Sandstorm an entire game. They 3-stocked Boomy and Sandstorm, so a 6-stock set in like under 2 minutes with Bodvar Koji back in the day. This was like probably 5 or 6 years ago. But like it was absolutely crazy. So I think Bodvar and Koji is gonna be an insane comp, because Bo is gonna excel so much in twos and in the one scene right now with the whole movement and patch notes. So I think like the main comps are gonna be Bodvar Koji, Koji, Nash, or Hattori Bodvar, or Bryn Tezca. I think Bryn Tezca is gonna be back. I think Chronix might come back. I don't know. We'll just have to see. A lot of people have been wanting Chronix to be back, so we'll see about that. But yeah, Tori's definitely S tier for 2s and 1s, honestly. Sir Roland. I'm gonna put Sir Roland in mid C tier. Again, Lance isn't necessarily in a bad state right now. It's just not as good as it used to be. I've played it. It's really not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, unless like it's only really bad on Olgrim. I haven't played anybody else besides Orion. I haven't even touched Olgrim since the patch, and I don't plan on it. Like I just don't want to experience that. So like I've seen enough to know that Olgrim is unplayable already. But Sorlin, he's not necessarily bad. It's just again you have all these characters who are gonna outmeta that. So I'd say C tier. I don't like unless like there's only a couple of people I could see bringing Sorland into a top 8, and that's possibly like Use and maybe like some of the South American players, because I know Use he plays a Vector, but again Vector's I think is overall better than Sorland, but it's like I could see Use playing Sorland, maybe some other South American players that I can't name their name off the top of my head, you know. But I'd say Sorel's like probably mid C tier for 2s. Scarlet. This is a tricky one. The only person that I really know that plays Scarlet, or that I've seen people play Scarlet in 2s, is probably Wubs. I know he plays Scarlet. I think no, it wasn't Meg D. He doesn't play Scarlet. I think I've only seen Wubs play Scarlet in 2s. But because with the hammer, with how hammers can be really good in 2s, and overall Lance isn't bad, I'm gonna pit Scarlet in like B tier as well with 9. If you pair this with like a really good like comp, like I don't know, Bryn, or even something with spear, like Hattori or Shang, because you have Hammer Spear, then you have Gauntlet Lance, and everything else flows really good in that as well. So like yeah, Scarlet isn't necessarily a bad pick. It's just again you have A and S tier that are gonna outshine on Scarlet. So Thatch. Thatch is just straight up unplayable. Again, I talked about this. The only person that I know that plays Thatch is Silly Gobi, and he's basically a retired pro. He just plays the game for fun. I literally don't see a single like professional Thatch player. I see Thatch in ranked a couple times in like low 2100 or like base diamond when they're just trolling or playing for fun, but I've never seen Thatch in comp play like ever, at least in 2s. I would actually like lose my fucking marbles if I see Thatch in this next coming top 8 2 set. If I see a Thatch in the next top 8 or top 4, I'm actually gonna go crazy. But yeah, as of right now in 2s anyway, Thatch is straight up unplayable. Low defense, blasters, sword, they're gonna get completely like straight up railed by fucking S and A tier. So Thatch is straight up unplayable. Ada, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just put Ada and Garb. Not unplayable, but again, low defense. Spear's not bad. Blaster's not bad, but Ada's just not a good 2s character. I think a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but again, when have you ever seen her in a top 8? You know, so the statistics kind of prove my point, but I don't think she's necessarily a bad 2s character, but for comp, she's definitely Garb tier. Damn, we have a lot. Well, next the characters are kind of ass. Yeah, Sentinel, Garb, Lucian, Garb, Teros. I'm gonna put Teros in B tier. Even though with the whole new dex change, I still think Teros is gonna be played in 2s. The dex change actually really isn't that bad, especially when you're playing heavy neutral and you're resetting and holding priority on stage. Even when you get disarmed, you're literally getting your weapon so fucking quick. It's like it doesn't even necessarily matter, and he's still a strong hitter. I think Kine is still gonna play the shit out of Teros. If he doesn't play Teros, I deadass think he's probably either gonna go back to Zariel or he might play Core. That's my prediction at least. but I still think Terrace is gonna be played. I don't think he's A tier. I think he's high B tier because again, S tier right now and A tier are just so insanely good. I think Orion right now, Orion's the only person in A tier right now. Actually, we'll obviously get more A tiers, but I think Orion's debatable for A tier. He might be high B tier or lower. I definitely don't think he's S tier. I think he's like right next to A tier, but yeah, I'd say Teir's is like really high B tier. He's definitely not A tier, but I think he's B tier. If you're someone like Kaina or someone who's just absolutely insane on Teros, then I think you're honestly going to be fine. You just have to play really good neutral and have stage control and know how to prioritize resetting and stuff, and you're going to be chilling. So, then we have Bryn. I'm going to put Bryn in A tier. Again, Axe. It's still a really good weapon in twos. I haven't played Axe in twos because again I don't feel comfortable on the weapon. But I still think Bryn is an insane character in twos. She'll always be an insane character in twos. I don't think she's S tier, but I think she's probably A tier with Orion. When you pair her with someone like Tezka or a Lance Legend, possibly like Scarlet even now, because Orgrim's not playable, or even Bryn or Ryan, you know, that's still a really solid comp. Anybody with gauntlets, spear, axe, anything that pairs really well into spear and axe is gonna be an insane comp with Bryn overall. So I think she's A tier. I don't think she's S tier, but I think she's really good A tier. Azuri, straight up unplayable. You're not gonna be seeing that shit in comp. In the discussion, I'm not even gonna go on about that. Barraza. I'm gonna put Barraza in C tier. The reason why I put him in C tier is because I don't think he's necessarily bad. I think he could potentially be B tier. It's just, again, there's a lot of B tier characters besides probably Nai that can out meta and outplay a really good Barraza player in twos. The only characters I know of that could pair really well into Barraza that could make it into a top 8 or top 32 are probably Shang, Bryn, maybe Bolivar and Atori, but you have better picks for that. So I think he's solid C tier right now. If not, like if he's not B tier, he's definitely like C tier, mid C tier. Yeah, Ember, straight up unplayable. And again, this is for twos. We'll be doing a one segment after this one. Straight up unplayable in a discussion. Azoth, I think Azoth might actually be A tier. So the reason why I say A tier is because again, bow right now I think is going to be one of the best meta weapons for ones and twos. I've been playing the absolute shit out of bow, and I'm honestly loving it. I think it's going to be my main weapon. I'm not going to spoil until we get into ranked later on in the stream, but I'll show some of my new picks I'm going to be playing for ones. I think I'm going to still stick to spear and gaunts and twos. There's not many bow legends I can play right now in twos. I don't feel comfy on Zariel because Zariel got nerfed pretty bad. He's not ass. It's just, you know, again, I don't necessarily feel the best on Zariel. I feel probably best on Orion and Shang, but that's just me. But I think Azoth is insanely good. Like Axe still has really good priority in twos. Bow is insane. He has an insane kit already. I think he's going to be really good in ones, and I think he's going to dominate in twos. If you pair it up with someone like Bryn or Nash or Hattori, Bodvar, or Ryan, anybody basically with spear or axe, or maybe even sword, hammer, lance, you know, anything into Azoth today that's like going to be meta is going to do really well. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if we see an Azoth in the upcoming top 32 and lower for your summers. But I think he's high mid A tier for twos. We have Koji. I think Koji's straight up S tier right now. Sword is going to be getting absolutely played a lot in twos and ones. Hold on. My mouth is getting dry there. I had to take a sip. Also, my bad. I've been yapping so much. I need to check. Do we got anybody in stream? We do. My bad, chat. I have not been reading chat. I need to pull it up on my phone. My bad, y'all. I've been yapping so much about the about the thing I forgot to pull up chat. Let me do that real quick so I can read off chat. Then we can continue. Okie dokie. What's going on? What's up, Loomy? Server's back up. Fire tier list. Is the server offline? I don't think it's going to turn out. Yeah, my bad, guys. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, okay, I can see chat now. But where were we? Back to Koji. Okay, yeah. I genuinely think Koji is going to be high S tier right now. He's going to be insane in his. I'm already calling it. I think he's going to be played either into Nash or Bodvar the most. Possibly Bryn. I don't think he's going to get played into a Tor because double sword is not really necessarily good. I think when you have double spear or double gauntlets, that works well, but double sword in general, it just doesn't pair well. It never has, unless it's like 2016, 2017, you know? But with playstyle, meta, everything, I think Koji Bodvar and Koji Nash are going to be an insane comp to fight. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I think Koji's going to be insanely good in 2, so I put him just straight up S tier. You're still here, Lumi? I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, so yeah, Koji, he's going to do insane. Now we have Olgrim. Olgrim, I have mixed feelings on Olgrim, so I want to be biased and just put him in that's not Olgrim, that's Sidra. I want to be unbiased. I want to be biased, just put him straight up and unplayable. But honestly, I'm gonna put him in C tier. The reason why I put him in C tier is even though Olgrim got absolutely gutted and just straight up like shit on, I don't think he's not gonna be played in 2s. We still have the tourney coming up to see if people are gonna play him. I still think he has an insanely solid kit, and again, with the whole dex change, again, if you're playing like someone who's hideaway or hybrid, some insanely fucking good Olgrim players, you're gonna have insane resetting priority and just overall good neutral game, to where when you do get disarmed, you're gonna be able to get your weapon back no matter what. So it's not like the disarmor effect is gonna fuck you up the most. It's more or so the fact that he's just not gonna have the same killing power and knockout potential, you know, as he had last patch. Yo, bro, sorry, comments on people complaining about the snap dash change. What do you think of Fate? I actually, speaking of Fate, actually, I think Fate for 1s, I don't think she's gonna be a bad pick. Sight's never gonna be a bad pick in 1s. Orb, I think, is gonna be a little bit in a like gray area. Orb has always been a really good 1s weapon, but with the nerf it got, Silite Sarah isn't gonna kill as quick as it used to. I don't think you can get D-Light into Sarah True anymore, or D-Light Nair, so that's kind of a bummer. I could totally be wrong on that, and if I am wrong, and if you're on the know, please let me know, because I don't want to like give you all information to be wrong about it. But I know some of Orb string kits, they either don't kill as early, or they just don't connect anymore. But I don't think Fate's necessarily going to be a bad pick in 1s. I think it will get outplayed by other characters. Like, obviously Bodvar. Bodvar is going to be an insanely, insane meta pick. But yeah. You may be in a different region. Yeah, nah, sir. Who do we got next on tier list? Sidra. Honestly, I think I'm going to put Sidra in B tier. Just because I don't think Cannon's ever been in a bad spot in 2s. And I think Sidra, she actually got a buff, I think, this patch. I think her insect connects easier and it also kills earlier. But I'm totally not sure at all. Give me ones. But I'm still not connected, sadly. Yeah, servers are going to be down for like probably 10-15 minutes, chat. But yeah, I put Sidra honestly in B tier. I don't think Cannon's gonna be in a bad spot. I think like she got a buff, so she's not bad. I don't know who would really pair well into her or her. But I think there's some good legends that can pair into her. I can't name any off the top of my head. I don't really play with Cannon that much. Probably anything in the gauntlets, spear, or bow. So probably like Bryn. I think Bryn and Sidra could be really good because you have Yeah, you have some really good cannon and spear combos, and then you have axe and sword and spear in that sword. So, you know, you have just really good combo kit for that. But yeah, I'd put Sigyn probably like high B tier. Diana for 2s, would put her in F tier. Diana, bow's fine, blaster's not so well. Really nothing to explain on. It's just Diana isn't a 2s character. Jala, I think Jala. Now hear me out on this one. I think Jala's gonna be S tier. I think Jala has always been an insanely solid legend in 2s actually. It's just she's gonna do really well, I think, if you play her into someone like Kaya or even Bodvar or Nash or Koji. Anybody, if you pit Jala into anybody in A and S tier as of right now and more to upcome, then she's gonna like absolutely dominate. Jala has always been an insanely good 2s character. And I think she's gonna do really well this patch. And she has the dex for it too, so you don't really have to worry about getting disarmed. It's more so just playing properly with the axe changes, and then just she's a really good glass cannon, I feel like. We got Koji. I'm gonna pick Koji in A tier. No, well, I said Koji, Core. I mean, I'm gonna pick Core in A tier. The reason why I don't pick Core in S tier is because, well, honestly, let me think. No, I'm gonna keep Koji in A tier. I don't think gauntlets are gonna be as meta as they are in 2s now. They're still gonna be really good, but I don't think they're gonna be insane meta. Because you have sword, hammer, and bow, which are gonna just be, I think, the straight up meta of 2s, and honestly in 1s. Like, I think the 2s meta is gonna be the 1s meta. There's not gonna be a diversity for 1s, because usually before this upcoming patch, there was a big diversity. Holy shit, I can speak. A big diversity of meta for 1s and 2s. Like, the 2s meta was not the 1s meta in 1s. It was completely different from 2s. Like, all 2's meta was Ulgrim Satellite Nair. That's all it literally was Axe Satellite Nair and Lance Satellite Nair. And it got so repetitive and boring, so the game, they just finally removed it, you know? But, I think Core's A tier, simply because Gauntlets, honestly, I don't think he's a bad pick. I think if you pair him to someone like Brynn or Koji, or even Jala, really, just anybody with another Gauntlet legend, or axe or spear, then he's gonna excel really well. But yeah, I wouldn't put him S tier because, again, so many better characters to pick in S tier. But is he bad? No, I think he's really good, but I don't think he's S tier. Shang, I definitely think Shang is gonna be S tier. I really don't even have to explain myself on Shang. Shang is just one of the best 2s legends of all time. He's gonna be insanely good. Y'all might be wondering why I didn't pick Core in S tier, and I picked fucking Shang. Shang has just always been a really good 2's character. He has a better kit than Core. You have Spear and gauntlets that just pair up literally into basically anything, as long as it's not like, well, actually, yeah, no, can't even say nothing pairs into him, because literally everything pairs into Shang. Like, no matter what you play, it pairs into Shang. So he's just like an insanely good 2's legend. So yeah, I think Shang's S tier, honestly. It's just defense? Yeah. What's up, Maureen? What's going on, chat? Also, chat, if y'all haven't, I'd really appreciate if y'all could like and subscribe, you know. I'm trying to get like 550 subs by the end of the year, or just trying to get more subs. I don't really have a goal, but I want to try and get some more followers, you know. So yeah, we're doing a tier list until servers are up, and we're going to be playing the new game mode. But so yeah, I'd really appreciate if y'all could do that for me. Who we got? We got Val next. I'm gonna put Val and I'm gonna put her in A tier. I want to put her in S, but I think if she's not S, she's insanely high A tier. I think Val is exactly like Shang. The only difference is Sword doesn't have the insane team combo potential as Gauntlets does, compared to Spear. Or it's just like Shang has a better kit than Val, but Sword isn't gonna have, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, Val is insanely good in twos. It's just not as good as, you know, Shang. Val is like kind of like the handicapped, like, Timu version of Shang, basically. Like, Val's not bad at all. It's just Shang's better. Like, why play Val when you can play Shang, you know? But if you want to be different and you want to play Val, then that's totally fine, because I think Val is an insanely good character for twos. I think she'll pair really well into, you know, legends like, again, Nash, Bodvar, Koji, anything that, well, double sword, maybe not so much, but I think like legends like Val into possibly like Bryn or like Tezca, you know, double gauntlets or spear and axe that flow really well into spear, that flow really well into gauntlets and sword are gonna be really good for her. So I put her in like high A tier. Ragnar for twos, I'm gonna just put him in Garb. Not questionable. Cross. I'm gonna put Cross in B tier. Reason why I put him in B tier is because we haven't seen Cross get played at all. Like literally at all in twos for like the past couple years. I do possibly think Chronix could be back. I can't say if it is or isn't because we haven't had a single tournament yet of this patch. Depending on how Summers goes and what I see, I think he might possibly be A tier, but as of right now, I'm gonna put him in B tier. He's definitely not a bad legend. It's just, again, you have all these legends that do better than Cross right now in a twos perspective. So that's just my take on it. Mirage, unplayable. Nyx, unplayable. Mordex, unplayable. Yamiko, I'm gonna put Yamiko high A tier. Hammer's gonna be insane. Bow's gonna be insane. I don't think you're gonna be able to do a lot of trap sigs in twos, honestly, because you're gonna be fucking up a lot of your neutral engagement on your teammate and just overall like movement in general. Your team is gonna have to be wary of your trap sigs and overall just like all the shit you throw out. It's kind of like Cannon necessarily, where I think like you're gonna be playing more of a what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but it's basically how you play Cannon in twos. You'd have to play how you play Cannon in twos. That's sort of have to play Yamiko, and Hammer and Bow don't really play well like that. And you wouldn't necessarily have to play like that, but I still think Yamiko's going to be really good in twos. Hammer and Bow are going to be absolute meta in twos. I think she'll be really good in twos, honestly. Artemis breaks my heart, but she's gonna be unplayable. Caspian, I'm gonna put him in Garb. Zol, I'm gonna put Zol like high A tier. I think we'll see Zol in twos. Zol has always been a really good twos character. Never been a bad twos character. I think he's high A tier. You have Cannon, gonna be really good in twos. You have Axe, still gonna be really good in twos. You pair this up into someone like Bodvar or Koji or Cassidy, you know, just someone who's like really, really good follow-up potential with Zol. Even someone like anybody really in S tier besides Jala and Hattori can go insanely well into Zol. So yeah, I think Zol will do really well in twos. Kaya, a lot of people are gonna be surprised by this, but I still think Kaya's gonna be S tier. I don't think Kaya nerfs are that bad. A lot of people got kind of upset on Kaya about the fact that they nerfed her sigs, but the truth and the fact is with Kaya's never been a sig. Like, when you're using her signatures in twos, she's never the KO legend. She's using her sigs as follow-ups for a KO potential. So her neutral sigs are the only KO attacks on your team combo kit. And even then, when you're doing your combo, all you have to do to make your insig kill is like add in like an extra hit or two, and like you have axe into bow. A lot of people go for the KO option. For like you have like I can't name a combo off the top of my head, but basically you would end a combo off with bow and sig, and now that's not gonna kill. Whereas instead of going for that, you can just do like bow recovery into axe recovery, and that'll still kill as long as it's not Ulgrim, you know. Well, even if it is Ulgrim, but basically, I think Kai's still gonna be S tier. She's not bad at all. Her nerfs weren't even that bad. It was just some damage differences, I think, on some of her sigs. They decreased the force of D-Sig and they reduced the damage on her bow and Sig and spear and Sig, which is totally fine because like again, she's a follow-up character. She's not going for kill attacks with her Sigs to begin with. They're all follow-up Sigs. Again, her only KO Sigs would be spear lance, and it would end off with a spear and Sig, and that would still kill regardless. So, Bow's gonna be meta in 2s, Spear's gonna be meta in 2s. If Kai isn't S tier, then she's insanely high A tier, but I'm gonna keep her in S tier because like she's still insanely good. Isaiah, unplayable. Like Jiro, unplayable. Lin Fei, I'm a pittering. Yeah, unplayable. Zariel, we're gonna pit Zariel in. We're gonna put Zariel in. Trying to think. I'm trying to debate with Isaiah's B tier. Not gonna lie. No, brother. What are you on? Isaiah is not B tier. Isaiah is straight up unplayable in 2s. We are not seeing an Isaiah in top 32 or lower in a tournament, bro. That shit is not happening. All these players, all these legends you're seeing right now, besides maybe Ragnar, I think Ragnar can maybe get into 2s. Ragnar's not necessarily bad, but it's just like in comp scene, Ragnar is outshined by everybody on here. There's no way Ragnar, like if Ragnar makes it into a top 8 or top 32, it's straight up by luck, not by skill, in my opinion. And that's gonna think that might piss some people off, but honestly, statistics say otherwise. So I think I'm honestly right. But yeah, Rayman. I think Rayman's honestly B tier right now. I played a bit of Rayman. Honestly, well, no. Okay, I'm gonna put Rayman in like a mid-low A tier. If you pair him with someone like Tezka or Bryn or Shang, then I think he does really well. But with the axe changes, it's really not that bad. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna put Rayman in the S tier because Rayman still has really good stats. Again, if you play good priority and neutral and you reset properly, then you're not gonna have to worry about getting disarmed. You're not gonna have to worry about losing neutral and losing priority on stage control. Like if you just play Rayman right as anybody else in this S tier lineup and A tier lineup, you're gonna do perfectly fine. And again, just like with Shang, if you can really play anybody into Rayman. Like Rayman is a really good, solid 2s legend. So it's just like Shang. Like you can basically play anybody into Shang, just like how you can play anybody into Rayman. So I actually put Rayman in S tier. Dusk. I'm gonna put Dusk in D tier. First D tier character for 2s. Orb, I don't think is bad in 2s. Spear is gonna be meta. I think Dusk has a really good sig kit and just overall good kit in general. You'd have to do some really niche or strange picks, I think, to make Dusk work in 2s. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I think Dusk into probably like Dusk into Core, Val, Bryn, Shang, Jala, like really Dusk into like some of these A and S tier characters, it can work. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. So I put him in D tier. Fate is unplayable. Sight's not gonna be played in 2s. Thor, I'm gonna put Thor in C tier. Again, Orb, not necessarily bad. I'm gonna put Thor in C tier. Thor has always been a really good 2s character. He doesn't get played as much anymore. He might get played now, but because before this upcoming patch, like again, it was really just Olgrim, Kaya, Lance, Nair nonstop. Just sidelight Nair. I think Thor's not a bad pick in 2s. Orbs, again, Orb is kind of in the gray area. Hammer's gonna be meta in 2s and in 1s. I think Thor is a really good hit. It's just, again, you're gonna have to play some interesting characters into him. So, yeah, I think, like, honestly, yeah, no, I think Thor. I'm gonna put Thor B tier, actually. I think Thor could actually work pretty well in 2s. Petra, I'm gonna put Petra. This is a hot take on Petra. I'm gonna put Petra in D tier. The reason why I put Petra in D tier, chat, is because she actually got some pretty solid nerfs in this upcoming patch. Her orb got nerfed really bad, and her gauntlet instant got nerfed really bad. I don't think she's unplayable. I just don't think she's gonna be the best pick for gauntlets or orb. I think, or we'll put it B tier, actually, just like with Cross. I do possibly think Chronix could be a comp. I don't think it's in. I'm doing a 2s tier list for this. Okay. Jaehyun, unplayable. Mako, unplayable. Magyar, unplayable. Reno, Garb. Moonin, unplayable. Arcadia, Garb. Ezio, Garb. Tezga's S tier. Should be chilling now. Okay. Back to the playlist. Holy moly, okay. Loki, unplayable. 7. I'll put 7 in, like, I'll put 7 B tier. I think Cannon's not necessarily bad. I think Spear's good. It's just 7's kind of weird. Vivi, not unplayable, but I think she's definitely, like, Garb. Amugi.
Man, you stupid!
I'm gonna put him in A tier. I only put him in A tier because I know Moneyhalla can make it work. So that's why. Nothing more, nothing less. Zuva. This is weird. I put Zuva in C tier because I think Zuva has potential, but he's just not played enough. Hammer's gonna be really good. Battle boots are insane. I'd actually really like to see a Zuva get into a top 32 or more, but yeah, well, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. And then Priya, unplayable. Ransom, unplayable. And then that's unplayable. Well, okie dokie. Here's my definitive, unbiased 2s tier list of the upcoming patch. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Glazing hard right now? What do you mean, bro? What do you mean?